Hey, hey, what's up, guys? Just finished the dialysis treatment and just wanted to come on really fast. I don't have much at all, but I just wanted to share a quick little conversation I had with my brother the other day. He asked me, he said, Ricky, how do you go through everything that you've gone through and still have joy? No matter what it seems like, you're usually happy, you're usually strong in your faith and trusting in God. I had to share with him, it wasn't always that way. There were times where a lot of the things that I went through in my life or endured in my life caused me to be upset with God or be mad at God or not trust God or worry or have fear or anxiety towards the situation. And none of that it wasn't fun. It wasn't God's will for my life. So I basically gave him an answer, an easy answer for me. 1 Thessalonians 5:16 and 18, it says, "Rejoice always, pray continually, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you in Christ Jesus." So I had to pray continually. You know, things are not always easy. Things are not always easy, and it's easy to give up. But what's the alternative to giving up? The alternative to giving up is not giving up. And it's easy to give up when things get hard or when you can only see things one way. When you're able to hang in there and to persevere. That is what builds up your strength. That's what builds up your courage. That's what builds up your faith. I could have allowed every trial that I faced to take me out of here. But what about that person that I was assigned to even before I was created? That one particular person that needed to hear my story or my testimony or how I overcame this or that. What if I would have given up? What if that one particular person who was didn't even realize it, but was expecting me? If I'd have given up, who's to say that person would have given up? Who's to say if whether or not that person would still be here to fulfill their purpose? So when the word speaks of iron sharpening iron, the truth of the matter is we need each other. So I had to stop being selfish. When my mom passed away, when I was going through my sickness, I withdrew from everything and everyone. I felt like I didn't have anything to give anyone, not even my wife. I couldn't even pray for myself. I couldn't pray for anything. And it got to a point where physically and spiritually, I was dead. And I know if I had continued on that path, I literally would not be here. And it came down to a decision. The one thing I love about God is, even when I was going through my trials and I had completely turned my back on Him, He never turned His back on me. So I could still hear His voice. He still spoke to me. And I had to be obedient with what He was instructing me to do. And our God is we're the apple of His eye. He'll never steer us wrong. So as I begin to be obedient to His instruction, there was something that began to change in my life. My faith increased, my joy increased, my peace increased, my relationship with my wife increased and got better. When I began to put my life in right standing with the Lord, things began to change for me. So even though I would endure certain trials, certain sicknesses, there was nothing that was gonna make me believe I wouldn't get through it, because God had me covered. So to answer anyone's questions, because I've been asked this a lot. Hey Rick, man, how do you go through all this and you are always joyful? You're always happy. You always seem to be at peace. Well, the answer to that is it's nothing but the Lord. Spending time in His presence with prayer, allowing Him to have time to speak to me, to give me instruction, to give me wisdom, to give me knowledge. Those are the things that have caused me to not lose heart, to not lose faith, or to not look at my situation and only see the natural side of it. I trust God. He has not steered me wrong. He has not left me, and He won't. In fact, the more I get to know Him, the more He places people in my life to sharpen me, to grow me spiritually. He helps me to better understand His Word. And because my faith is that strong, I will not give up, as I've said plenty of times. So if you want the joy of the Lord to be your strength, if you want to have insurmountable joy in spite of what you're going through, spend time in God's presence. Spend time in His Word. Pray. But allow Him time to converse with you. And yes, God does speak. He speaks often. All we have to do is turn off everything else, the distractions, and listen. So joy in the midst of suffering. Cut out distractions, whether it be TV, music. Sometimes you got to put the phone down. Get in His Word. Get in His presence with worship. And allow Him to do a work in you. I know this shirt says, y'all need Jesus, but I need Jesus. I need Jesus. And I don't mean some facsimile or form of religion. I needed to truly know Him for myself. I needed to build that relationship. And it's something that I'm still working on. It's a work in progress. But because I have allowed God access to my life, I have allowed God time in my life, and I have allowed His Word to penetrate my heart, my faith is stronger than ever, but so is my joy. And I'm able, because of God, to spread love, to spread peace, and to let people know that no matter what you are going through, God has you. Everything that you would ever go through has already been paid for. So that's all I have. I'm gonna go get me some rest, and I'm gonna wake up with joy, because God is my all, and He's blessed me far greater than anything I could have ever imagined. Spend some time with Him today. You won't be sorry.